The Galactic Council chamber was a place of order, diplomacy, and, above all, fear. For centuries, the universe had bowed before the iron rule of King Zalzareth, the tyrant of the Zorathian Empire. His fleet crushed planets that disobeyed him, and his spies ensured no rebellion could ever rise. No species dared to challenge his word. Until today. The chamber was silent as King Zalzareth took his seat upon the black throne at the head of the council. His reptilian eyes glowed in the dim blue light of the chamber, scanning the delegates with the satisfaction of a predator. The air was thick with the scent of fear. Representatives from dozens of species sat frozen in their seats, awaiting his decree. Then, a single voice broke the silence. "That's enough." The council turned their heads in shock. The voice had come from the human delegation, one of the youngest races in the galaxy. The speaker was Captain Daniel Carter, a representative from Earth. His uniform was simple, his stance firm, and his face held none of the fear that filled the room. King Zalzareth narrowed his eyes. "Human," he hissed, his voice dripping with amusement. "Did you say something?" Daniel stepped forward. "I did," he said. "Your so-called rule of the galaxy has gone on long enough. You threaten, you destroy, you enslave, but not anymore." The chamber erupted into murmurs. No one had ever spoken to Zalzareth like this. Not the wise Eldari, not the warlike Torgaths, not even the secretive Verkai. They all feared him, but this human? He stood there, arms crossed, staring the tyrant down as if he were just another man. Zalzareth let out a deep, rumbling laugh. "How amusing. You think your words matter? Your species is weak. Your worlds are young. You have no fleet, no army to challenge me. Why should I waste my time listening to a creature that has yet to understand its place?" Daniel tilted his head. "Because we've learned something about you, Zalzareth. You rule with fear, but fear only works if no one stands up to you." The murmurs grew louder. A few delegates stole glances at each other, as if considering his words. Zalzareth's amusement faded. His clawed hand tightened on the armrest of his throne. "You dare to challenge me? Then let us test this human arrogance." A motion of his clawed hand, and two of his elite guards, a pair of towering, armored brutes, stepped forward. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy, aimed directly at Daniel. But Daniel did not flinch. "You see," Zalzareth sneered, "all it takes is a show of force, and your bravado crumbles." Daniel smiled. "No, Zalzareth, that's where you're wrong." In one swift motion, he pressed a small device on his wrist. Instantly, the chamber's massive display screens flickered to life. Footage played from hidden cameras, scenes of Zalzareth's soldiers brutalizing innocent planets, of his warships firing on defenseless colonies, of his secret police silencing opposition. The council delegates watched in horror as undeniable proof of his atrocities played before them. But that was not all. The next image sent shockwaves through the chamber. It was footage from a Zorathian command ship, one of Zalzareth's most trusted lieutenants, speaking in a hushed, desperate tone. "The humans, they have weapons we cannot counter. They have tactics we do not understand. Their resilience defies logic. We cannot win a war against them." The room was dead silent. Zalzareth rose from his throne in fury. "Lies! Tricks!" he roared. "I will have your head for this human." But Daniel stood firm. "The truth is out, Zalzareth. Your empire survives because of fear, but fear fades when people realize they are not alone. We humans, we don't back down, we fight. And now, the galaxy knows they can fight too." One by one, the council delegates rose. First, the Eldari, their blue-skinned faces firm with resolve. Then the Torgaths, their warlike instincts reignited. Even the Verkai, the silent watchers, exchanged nods. In that moment, fear died and rebellion was born. Zalzareth looked around, his power slipping through his claws. "You fools," he snarled. "You dare turn against me?" Daniel stepped closer. "You ruled because they were afraid. Now they are not." A pause. Then the Eldari High Chancellor spoke, his voice strong. "The Galactic Council hereby declares Zalzareth's rule illegitimate. His empire will answer for its crimes." The chamber erupted into action. guards turned against their former master. The alliances of old were formed, and a new war began, not one of oppression, but of liberation. And at the center of it all, a single human stood, unarmed, unafraid, and unwilling to bow.